Congratulations on the win and a great performance.
Thank you.
When you look at this fight and the first fight, how did it play out differently, and were you surprised at anything that happened in there tonight?
I guess not surprised. Yeah, he did. We obviously the first fight, like I can get technical, I guess. Won't be facing him anytime soon, but like obviously I turned, as you will see, as I was circling, went to do that, and he learned to cut off straight away. But again, everyone's just like, oh yeah, he's got to learn to cut off. I said, okay, well, I'll just go the other way. You know what I mean? Or I'll do something else. So he ended up struggling a little bit going the other way. I did want to grapple more. I thought I could have, grabbed the hold of him. He felt pretty strong. I'm like, oh, okay, won't bother. Jumped the gilly for a bit of a laugh. Didn't work, but yeah, it was all good though. Yeah, like he's tough, man. He's tough, strong. If anything surprised me, it's probably strength. He seemed stronger this camp.
So I was going to ask you about that, because it seemed like some of those shots you got in, we got him really deep, and he was able to sort of shrug you off much easier than I thought. Not easier, but much better than I thought he was going to be able to. Was that the entire game plan, was to grapple and take him down and maybe land some ground and pound, or was it just you were going to find it out in the moment?
I mean, we were going to find it out. Obviously, we wanted to take it down, and the idea was to the main focus, take minimal damage. You know what I mean? 37-year-old man, I don't need to be taking damage. You know, the first fight we had, I was in a lot of pain. You know, I wanted to have a quick turnaround. I couldn't, because there's a lot of things, that I had to recover from in that fight. Yeah, so it's all good. You know, it was mate, just to go out there and do what I did, was, again, at this age, 37 years old, just to win, right, is an awesome feeling. And then to do it here in Sydney, not only that, to defend your belt at 37 here in Sydney in front of your family and friends, it's incredible.
I mean, we were obviously, I think everyone was waiting for the walkout, right, to see what the vibe was going to be like. It lived up to it.
So it did, right? Like it felt good. I just don't know idea.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
When you walked out, and you're taking in that moment, because I saw you were smiling, you were looking around, you seemed to really want to take in that moment.
Of course.
Is it easy for you, obviously as the guy that you are, to switch into fight mode right away, or did you have to sort of say to yourself, like, okay, let's not get carried away here, there's still a job to do?
No, I don't need to do that now. Like I used to always not let myself do that. I've got to stay composed and all this. Don't want to get too much. Then I started getting to a point where I'll do that. I'll be like, oh, I can't do this, and then I'll be too chill in there. I'll be in there like, wait, am I fighting? Like it was like literally like that. So now I'm like, bring it on. Give me the energy as much as you want. Fire me up. I need it. So it's all good. I can really soak it all in, and I was able to do that. It was cool. Yeah. So it was a few different times I got to work the crowd, and we bounced off each other pretty good. So it was cool.
You've already made your claim to who you want next, either Lerone or Movsar. Whoever wins that fight should be coming.
I'm an easy champ to understand, man. Like if you deserve it, you're next.
You mentioned that last time you wanted a quick turnaround, but you were a little bit sore. Yeah. How are we feeling today, and do we think maybe you can convince those guys to turn around quickly and get in there?
I mean, I took way less damage in this one. Obviously, he still had some of his moments. There are a couple of things that are even in camp that we're going to look at anyway. So you take care of those things, and but it should be fine.
Congratulations, mate.
Cheers.
Volk, obviously, congratulations on the win, but you said previously you wanted to offer your people a moment, create them a memory. Are you happy with what you did tonight?
I mean, just a win here in Sydney, that's the moment. That's all they needed, right? Just a walkout is the moment. We've got fight of the night. I've got to watch the fight back. I thought I could have done more in there. I definitely thought I could have done more in there, but at the same time, do I need to do more in there when I'm the champ? 37, he's the guy that's meant to be this aggressive young guy. How much more aggressive should I be? You know what I mean? Should I, play that game? That's why I watch it back. I felt like I was being patient, just picking my shots here and there. And I didn't expect fight of the night, so I'll watch it back and see how I was.
Just one for me,
yes.
Champ. How important is for you to have more title defense than Jose Aldo and maybe become the greatest of all time in the featherweight division? Is it something that's matter for you?
I'm not chasing title defenses, and it's like, yes, all of that stuff. I just want to keep winning, keep getting them good paychecks. Yeah, that's going to build the legacy. I'm not trying to outdo Aldo, or it's got nothing to do with that. For me, it's just win and just be successful. You know what I mean? I've got a family to look after, and whatever I do to be successful, I'm happy.
Diego sort of struggled to walk into the back after the fight. He threw some really good leg kicks. How important were the leg kicks going into this fight for you as a part of the game plan?
We knew he would throw some, especially if I was going to turn to his power side. I'll throw a bit. I think it was more the last round. He ended up kicking. I think he might have kicked my elbow. I can feel that as well. But and I can't remember if it was my leg or my elbow, but he done something, and then when he went to stand on it, so I think he buckled his foot. Obviously I was already ahead, but I knew we needed that round, and I seen him buckling, he's struggling to put weight on it, but I was like, I could maybe do more here, but then I'm like, I think it was his front leg, his lead leg. So I was like, he can still sit, I'm pretty calculated, so I was like, he can still carry his weight on that back foot if he really wants to sit some big shots. So I was like, I won't get too carried away. Like I was thinking, can I capitalize on that? I'm like, I could by doing what I'm doing. Maybe a takedown. Like I thought, takedown probably a bit easier now, rather than being like, I'm going to just go for it because he only needs the back leg for that. So I didn't get too careless.
There was an iconic sort of moment when you were on top of him and the crowd was cheering, right?
It was an interesting position,
but then you were sort of going back and forth with the crowd. What was going on in your mind there? Because this is like towards the end of the fight, you kind of know, all right, I got this down in the crowd. It's just already celebrating.
I knew he probably needed something big. So even when he had me and he took my back, I was like, I don't know where people are like, no panic. I wasn't panic. I was like going, well, this is, he ain't going to finish me here. Like, I'm pretty confident in my submission defense. I've proved that plenty of times. So I knew I'd eventually get on top there. And then he went for the arm. He went for the, anyway, he went for the arm. I won't get into it, but he went for the arm, and I was like, sweet. And then at one point I was like, got to be careful here. But then I got out and I'm like, all right. And then we got there, and again, I knew I was like, I could just chill here and try and land a couple of shots, have a bit of a laugh, work the crowd, get him popping.
Would you be open to potentially fighting sooner against like a Jean Silva or a Armin Sarukian to stay active and keep the momentum going?
I mean, as I said, I'm an easy champ to understand. I'll talk to the UFC if that's what they want. As long as, look, I feel bad enough, I feel bad enough that like there's guys that probably deserved it and had to wait, even though they're going to eventually get it. Do I want to make them late? Just, again, so I've got a responsibility. I talk about having a responsibility as a champion. I don't think enough champions look at it that way. For me, I look at it as a responsibility. There's rankings for a reason, people that deserve it. If someone does get in, I'll be active enough to still give the people that deserve it a chance anyway, so I don't have to wait too long. But I mean, if I'm just going to keep letting other people just cut the line, I'm not really doing my part either. So I'll talk to UFC, see what they say. But for me, again, I'm an easy champ. I understand at the end of the day, if the UFC just push it or whatever, all right. But we'll see what happens.
I just want to get your response from Jean Silva. He's basically said that he's going to do a camp with Ilia Topuria to break you. So I just wanted your response to that.
Oh, he said that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I think he's a bit upset about the Ruffy thing, but I mean, like, I don't think there was anything more than the fact that, like, you've got Ruffy, who's a part of Engage Industries at the moment, AP Management, and, like, we connected sort of through that, did a bit of training there, and, he's obviously a very good guy, incredible guy, one of the nicest guys you ever meet, and obviously just wanted to work on these things, so I was always going to work with him. I know Rafa, so it was tough because I know Rafa as well, but at the same time, I was always going to work with Ruffy, and I think John Silva took that to heart. Supposedly, I don't know if it's real that they're not following each other. Like, he doesn't follow Ruffy anymore. I don't know. It shouldn't be like that. It's nothing like that. It's not like we're, I don't know why he's getting so butthurt about that. But yeah, man, Ruffy, you know what? I will tell you something. I don't know. Well, are they allowed to say? I don't even know if you know. Like Ruffy, like again, Rafa and Ruffy, I knew that was going to be an incredible fight. But put it this way, we are lucky that Ruffy even turned up this week. If you knew half the stuff that he went through. He had influenza, like legit influenza A, like at the start of the week, like crazy fevers. I didn't even think he would be able to do the weight cut. So I was like, oh man, like, so we've got to mentally try and get him through that. And then he had some troubles even today, big troubles today, and couldn't move. But, just told him that he's got to mentally get himself in there, got himself around it, and then was able to go and do what he does against someone like Rafa. Incredible, man. Like very, very... a lot of respect for him to just even turn up tonight. So I thought I'd just throw that out there because if he's new, he'd probably blow out.
Volk, can I just ask quickly? Obviously, he had his one moment in the third round where he caught you there. Can I just ask what sort of was going through your head in that moment?
I was all right. I was all there. It wasn't like I was like, oh, where am I? So it was all good. I think obviously catch. Whether it's just that flash and your feet just lose it a little bit. I think, I seen the replay actually. So I see my feet sort of get caught obviously it wasn't a trip, was from the punch as well, but I think it was just a bit of both. So obviously, whether it was a bit of a flash, but I was all right by the time. I didn't even think much of it. I remember feeling it, but knowing that I was all good, I was like, shit, that ain't going to look good. And that's all I thought of it.
And then do you think Arman Saryukian's call-out is legit, or do you think it's just part of his...
Probably, I don't know. I don't know. He's not too tall. He's a solid dude. Can he make 145? I don't know. I'm not sure. But again, if for me, you know, everyone knows I'll fight anyone, anywhere. You know, he's obviously would be a great challenge, but I'm not taking that serious because, you know, maybe it's just, you know, he should be fighting for the title, right? Like he's the one that should have probably been there, so maybe he's just thrown out there for a bit of a laugh. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't think I'm not going to pay too much attention to that till I know it's serious. I know I've got two serious guys in Lerone Murphy and Movsar, so I'll just really worry about them until someone says otherwise.
And who do you think wins that fight if they fight those two?
Lerone Murphy got good, you know, got good footwork. Can fight the right fight. I just think Movsar ends up grabbing hold. I think he's going to be stronger. I think Movsar takes that. But I mean, it would be an interesting fight. You know, if anyone can work a good game plan to keep him on the outside and make it hard for Movsar, Lerone could do that. But if I had to pick someone, it would probably be Movsar.